what's going on? Jigoku Gaming Channel. And why is this soundtrack so absolutely chill? What's going on, Akujiki? I am fully convinced that Satomi, the grocery store here, has the most fire soundtrack. Let me turn that down a little bit. Alright, I was just like, I walked in here and I'm like, why is this soundtrack actually super fire? Like, oh my gosh. So, good to be with you here. We are on Jigoku Gaming Channel here. As usual here, let's go ahead and go through a couple of things here. Jigoku Gaming, that's going to be Jigoku_gaming. That's going to be on Twitch. That's going to be on YouTube. Check us out there. We are going to be doing a retro rewind kind of tips and tricks here tonight because I want to show you some really cool stuff in between to really help power up your Persona 2 playthrough. And it's going to start out with a lot of rumors here, and I'm just going to go first off and show you what one of the strongest weapons is going to be here. And we're going to get this rumor here from, not this rumor monger here, but we're actually going to get this rumor here for the Dragoon and the best dresser here. And I figured I better show, what better way to show off how to get these really two strong pieces of really late game armor. Especially when we get the upgrades on them, then just bring it on here. Seems impossible to find a new playing Persona 2 right now. Yeah, no, because people are they are so used to the modern Persona experience. But look at this, Persona 5 fans, modern fans, they're going to be in shambles right here. I can actually head to my character's room, and I'm not told by a cat that it's time to go to sleep. Imagine that. Oh yeah, and you can. Maya has a PlayStation. Literally, look at this big ass PlayStation Maya has over here. I think you can almost interact with it. But nah, this is what's up. And you have the stereo over here you can listen to. It's pretty nice. Maya has a really messy room. But I really want to show a lot of missables right here tonight. That is, like, there's so much stuff that's easy to miss here, and this is going to be stuff that really helps, like I said, power up your playthrough here. The first thing is going to be, let's go ahead here and talk about the best dresser. And we're going to have to talk about rumors, because rumors are everything in Persona 2. The rumor system in this game is one of the most, like, in-depth, elaborate systems in a Persona series. I absolutely love everything about the rumor system here. And speaking of rumor systems, we're going to have to go to 2x/. So I just wrapped up and finished choosing my character, whether it's going to be the Nate that we meet at Parabellum or it's going to be Ellie. And this is where you're going to get a lot of stuff that kind of opens up right here. The first is going to, and like I said, one's going to be a very, very, very good armor, and the other one's going to be a very, very good weapon. And to kind of give a little more perspective on this, you're going to have to understand the rumor system in this game. The rumor system on Eternal Punishment is actually crazy. The powers of rumors becoming real. You know, enough people believing something actually becomes true, so we're going to summon the power of the greatest guns and the greatest weapons are going to be in our playthrough. And basically, it's going to affect how the gameplay and everything unfolds story-wise. So this game is about power, it's about belief, it's how people shape reality. And we're going to start with the best dresser here. So I want to just kind of key in on a few things. Okay, so if you're going to get the best dresser, and this is really easy to miss, you want to go to 2x/ here, Sumeru King, and get on the bulletin board. Now, when you take a look at that bulletin board, you're going to see this right here. I heard the sales lady at Rosa Candida was engulfed by a wave on vacation. It's unconfirmed, but something must have happened. So this is what is called like a random effect rumor. It is a rumor, and like I said, this game's unique power mechanic, the concept of rumors. We're going to be able to like do kind of rumors that are just straightforward. We hear it and we're going to do it. These are all RNG rumors. So the best thing you can do right here is get them beforehand and then save. Do not do the effect, because what you'll want to do, and you saw this if you checked out my stream last time, you check that out on my channel there, Jigoku_gaming, check out on our playlist there, you'll see what I did with the Trish. I got her to lower her prices on the ice cream she's selling. That is another random effect rumor. So let me show you just the basics of how this is going to work, okay? You say, Akukiji, how far the story goes right now? I didn't watch the previous stream. Oh, the story is going great right now. I just got to Alba Park the second time, and I just got Giga Macho unlocked, so we're probably going to be going into Giga Macho, but I'm going to tell on myself a little bit. I completely forgot to get Balfu and Nate's special contact, so I'm doing a little bit of a backtrack here, but I'm like, this is a perfect time to also show off these random effect rumors here. What better reason to actually, you know, show some of the content, because this is how you really can, like, power up your playthrough right here and really get the best outcomes. Just save before every time you do this. Basically, so we got that girl swept by a wave. Oh yeah, one more thing. If you open up this after you get done with whatever map we just got done with, after you get the Parabellum story and all that, you can get this Sumaru magazine right here. And if you go to that Sumaru magazine, it's actually going to give you a special rumor. And this will be good because I can kind of tell you the difference here between the two. But Gigamacha, aka CD and Eternal Punishment, has a secret CD in stock. That's going to be Persona Rock. So I will have that on my channel as well coming up here. But yeah, stream's been going great here. This is really what has led to a lot of success too in my stream, because a lot of people say this is a really tough game, and I feel like we're really hitting that difficulty spike right now. I feel like I'm really getting all these tough Persona, all these tough Joker battles. We just had Genji at Smile Mall. That's where we just were there. So I'm like I said, backing up a little bit here. Now, this is going to be one of the things that helps make the difference in, like, having a normal playthrough versus having, like, a really powered up playthrough. And I'm gonna show you the difference between two types of rumors. So this game has a lot of different types of rumors here. This right here is going to be Sumaru Genie's fortune-telling one. That's just a straight-line rumor. You have that, boom, it's going to give it to Infinity Ring. Why don't you play the PSP version? The PSP version has additional content like Tutsuya scenarios. Because I just got a PSP, but I do not have the PSP versions yet. I was actually talking to my viewers the other day, and I'm like, should I just, like, buy the original story on the Japanese PlayStation 2, or should I just get the remakes for my PSP? So I've actually just got a PSP after having one, getting rid of it, finally got one back in my possession there, and I'm actually going to look out for these games, so stay tuned on that one. I will, because I want to get the Innocent Sten story as well, and yeah, you get the additional Tatsuya scenarios. So, but you won't get that. So we won't get the additional Tatsuya scenarios on this one. This isn't PSX. This is actually the PS1 version right here. So this is the original. Straight line to the story, no edits. This is it as its original form was. So we also got all the great voice actors on this. People like David Whitmore, and a lot of those. So, but anyways, real quick here, I just want to say this right here is going to be what we want to take a look at. The sales lady at Rose Candida is swept away, is engulfed by a wave. This is going to be a random effect rumor. Depending on which effect we get, we're either going to get one that's booty, or we're going to get one that's great. We want that great effect. That's going to be Rose Candida right here. So I saved my game beforehand, and don't worry if you don't get the effect that you get. I'll show you even what you do pretty much. All you do is just reload it if you don't get the effect that you want. So that's how you can really basically rumor max, what I like to call rumor maxing on your rumors here. You're getting the best effect here on your rumors. Now we can go over here to Rose Candida. I'll know if she has a blue dress. It's going to be her sister, so we didn't get the good effect. We got the good effect. It's going to be the regular lady, and she's going to be swept away to Paris. And we got the blue dress, so I already know I'm going to talk to her. This, just so you can see the effect, this is going to be her swept away effect. If you see this, if you see the blonde with the blue dress, you don't want it. What you want to do is you just want to reload your game. And that's why you want to save on those RNG effects. This is why I call it that rumor maxing. You're going to see that here. And she's going to give you like, oh yeah, my younger sister was on a vacation to the Bali Islands and she got swallowed up by the high seas, so now I'm here. Okay, whatever. Now, we can just reload here. Come straight back to the agency and notice how I didn't do the rumor, spread it, and then save. At least I hope I didn't. So when I go here now, I can basically re-roll the dice here for RNG. And this is the best way to just maximize what you are getting out of these RNG rumors. Some of them are, usually there's like a good rumor, and then there's one that doesn't really do anything. And so you're really wanting to get that one that does give you something. And you'll see, because what we get from this one is going to be an insanely strong piece of armor. Yeah, oh, here we go. So now, this is exactly what I talk about rumor maxing. So now we got the one in red, right? This is now the one that's going to sell us one of the best pieces of armor, hands down, from mid-game to late game here. And she's going to say, oh, bonjour, I just got back from, so, not from the Bali Islands there, she got back from Paris, and she's got swept away in this fashion. Akukiji, have you played Innocent Sin, or knowing the context from Innocent Sin? A jump of punishment will hit so hard if you're playing it while knowing the context. Yeah, now, I've watched a lot of playthroughs of Innocent Sin. Like I said, finally got my PSP back, looking to get that, going to play that, cannot wait, gonna stream that whole playthrough on, when I get that version on PSP. But I've watched all the gameplay videos, I know the entire story, Innocent Sin, the other side, right now, basically Eternal Punishment being on this side. It's such a great story. It really, I always say, they could never. This is such a dark story. So, even, oh man, the characters, they could not. They would basically have to rewrite this today. We've even had some moments here, like all the smoking, like that was really prevalent, like 90s culture in the 2000s. All the stuff that would just, it flew under the radar now. But as society, we've really moved away from these kind of things, and they would have to completely rewrite it because they wouldn't land the same, you know. So it's just amazing to think how, if they ever remade these today, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. If they remade this today, could they remake it today? Would it be both of them, like a 1 and 2 together, and they just give you the whole entire story, kind of like they did with the Dot Hack GU, or the Dot Hack series? And I think they just did basically a bundle of those, just bundling all those stories together. And or could they just, nah, we're not even going to kind of open this can of worms. Okay, so here is what is going to be the best story. This is one of my favorite stories. I love this, and you'll appreciate this, possibly, Akukiji. I started with Persona 3. Don't get me wrong. I'm always joking around with, you know, modern Persona fans and all that. I started with 3, played 4. That's what solidified my love for the series. 5 solidified it even more. It was doing things that, like, no other game was even doing. Played the SMT games. Went back and played Persona 2, and this game has just stuck with me. The at least Eternal Punishment side here for just such a long time. It's just such a good story here. So many like little details too that can make you really appreciate the game. Playing Persona 2 Duology made me realize if modern Persona games are just alternate version that isn't supposed to exist. It just hurt to know. Tatsuya literally saved the whole time. Yeah, it's so crazy. I hope they bring back, and you'll know where I'm coming from here. I hope they bring back, Nyarlathotep. I believe that's a pronunciation of that, but you know the big boss in this game. I hope they bring him back for Persona 6. He needs to come back to the story. He needs to be scheming. We need to have more Fiamon involvement. I love, one of the things I've noted is like the just character interaction between the characters from 1 and 2, and how deep the story. We have Nate right here, how deeply woven, even though that Persona 1 story doesn't have a prominent front and center role in this story, you still have a lot of that tie-in, and I really want to see more of that. Kind of going back to the past, bringing back some of these big baddies, especially when we talk like the big baddies of the series, like Nyarlathotep. Yeah, we need to see more of that. I've been playing a lot of Shin Megami Tensei as well. I just finished up with 5, and 3 is one of my favorites. It's also interesting to see where Eternal Punishment fits in with the rest of the Persona franchise, also with that SMT franchise, and we got a lot of these core concepts right here in this game for both games. So it's like such a nice mix of the two. So if you're a fan of really either or, maybe you're more of a Persona fan, maybe you don't play like the SMT, maybe you like SMT, maybe you like both, this one, you can't go wrong. It really is the best of both worlds, especially with the whole Reflections of the Soul deals that we see evolve later on in Persona 3 and beyond. So, like I said, if you're a Persona 5 fan, really cool trip back in time here. This is the best dresser, by the way. This is going to be a great item that, like I said, one of the best armor pieces in the game. It's going to be 200,000 yen. Luckily, this game is not stingy with money. Some of the other games can be really, in the later series, stingy with what materials and resources they give you, but this one's a really good one, and how they treat the player and respect their time. Okay, so I went there and I grabbed the best dresser here, and that is going to be, like I said, one of the best armors here that we can get. Now, since I got the best dresser and I got the best outcome from that rumor, and I'm trying to rumor max here, like I said, I'm getting the best stuff for my playthrough here. If I'm building my playthrough, I want that best dresser. I'm going to save right there, because that is how we do it. That is, now we can move on to the next piece of equipment, which is going to be the Dragoon, and this is going to be a really strong gun for our boy Katsuya, who, by the way, if you didn't know, Katsuya is, his English voice actor is David Wittenberg, and if that name sounds familiar, that's because that's literally Kakashi. If you're a fan of the Naruto series, that's Kakashi right there. So, so Naruto fans, there's your draw into the series here. So we got our boy Kakashi right here, looking chill as fuck. You just might as well call him Katsuya Kakashi, and he's gonna get a really good gun called the Dragoon. Alright, let's go. So this one actually takes a little bit of setup, but it's actually going to be really good for where we have to go next. But let's make a quick journey here, because I want to go to Narumi real quick, and I want to grab just a few rumors. The first one's going to be from the map level. Like I said, I played SMT 5 recently, just did a playthrough. It gives you quests on the map level, like you get these characters like this. You can literally talk to them. Also notice, I want you to make notice of how my character icon is green right now. Notice how it is green. It will not be green later on. Now, this is going to be the adventurer. This NPC right here is going to give you a quest or like a rumor to catch this Tsuchinoko, who's going to be in the dungeon ahead in the sewers. But that's not the important part. The important part is, and let's up here, you get an item breeder from this guy. A free item breeder just from finding this rumor demon. And it's not a RNG one or anything, so we can just go straight to it. But it's good to pick that up, because, like I said, that's called a free item breeder. What the item breeder does Why it's so important? Because it lets you duplicate any one single item in your inventory. Let me repeat that. It lets you duplicate one single item in your inventory. It's literally a cheat code. It's literally a duplication cheat code. Only it's in an item form. So you can get quite a few of those throughout the game here. Let me go ahead and go to Hirashi, like I actually know where I'm going, Hirosaka. So, but that's really big to have. You can use that on a couple of items. Let me go to my inventory real quick and show you what items I would use that on. So I can copy any one item in my inventory, literally any of these. That would be good on something like the Soma, which there's very limited Somas. This is like the best Apex healing item in the game. If you read its effect, the Soma in the later titles is actually dumbed down a little bit. Not really dumbed down, but boiled down a little bit, because all characters, conditions, and restoring HP and SP. So, chat, let me know. I would love to know, comments, what should I, when I get this item breeder, use? Should I use it on the Soma? Should I use it on the Akashic Ring? The Hihi Irokane? Or maybe another item. So I'm gonna give that to the chat right there. I personally would like to use it on the probably the Soma or maybe the Akashic Ring. Both of them are good here. Did you realize that Persona 5 is bringing back demon concept? That's red flag of Nyarlathotep slowly crawling back from his grave after Persona 2. We still got hope. Yeah, for sure. I'm literally inhaling weapons grade hopium 347 that I will have Nyarlathotep in Persona 6. Let's do it. Come on. Let's do it. Hold on here. Wait. Hold on. Is Hashino listening? He needs to listen up, Hashino. Bring back Nyarlathotep. I'm telling you, good things will happen. Alright, let's go ahead here. And this one's going to take a little bit of setup, but I want to talk to you. I have never used the item reader in my entire gameplay, so I have no idea. It's really good. So if you, like I said, a couple items, if you are interested in what to use the item breeder on, my first probably pick would be this right here, the Akashic Ring. Here's why, because there are a very, 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 very limited number of these in the game. I think the way to grind them is actually a nightmare, like an actual nightmare scenario as well. So since they are so limited, and since they are so valuable because they help in creating a lot of the in-game high-level legendary weapons and characters' best weapons, that would be one of my first go-tos right there, just because that's going to cut down on any grind time if you do end up grinding these out. My second pick, like I said right there, would be the Soma, and that's just going to be because it is all characters, all conditions, all HP and SP. That I don't even know how many games have a Soma effect that strong, because usually it's just HP and SP, but this one also recovers conditions. It might be in a couple of other games like that, but that one's definitely a good one, and that's another limited item in here. So if you want more of a utility item than a armor or weapon item best for a character, then you can go for the Soma. So those would be kind of my two go-tos right there. So two things right here, Shiraishi. The first is going to be a very special contact between Nate and Balfu, and I missed this on my first time playing through, so listen up, because you're going to want to do this. A lot of the guides, especially if you are following, and I'm no shade to any of these, because these are some fantastic guides, all, you know, the love for these, but if you're following the Yoshiru guide, or you're following the Seiyuchi guide, or any of that. I think that one goes through the PSP version. Both of those kind of do not tell you the correct information here on how to get this contact. So you'll want to listen up here, because this is the actual factual way how to get the baseball baseball contact between Nate and Balfu, and it's one of their special ones here. So basically you'll want to have Maya talk to Balfu before you go into the sewers. On both of those guides I mentioned, they say after. You can go in after the sewers, after the laboratory, but before you go into the Alba Park or anything like that. Or after. No, you literally have to do it right now. Or sorry, before you go into Smile Mall. Let me correct that. They say you can do it before you go into Smile Mall. You actually have to start it earlier. Before sewers even, you have to talk to Balfu. He's going to say this line right here. I bet people who were bored. Also, voice actor for Balfu right here. Special shout out to the legendary Paul Mercier. I'm just going to let him just say the OG Leon there. So, hello Leon. So, I always love Balfu. I bet people who were brought up can't understand what's good about this place. If you listen, you can hear. Oh, baseball game. Right here's the one you're going to want to get. Baseball game. I forgot about it. The San Francisco, they don't say the Giants, because it'd be the San Francisco Giants, if you're a baseball fan. The SF really big guys are playing today. Damn, I've never missed one before. So, that particular line of dialogue right there is the first precondition that you get between Balfu, and Nate's special contact here. And he'll say it a couple times, but if you come here after you go through the sewer and then you'll talk to him, he's going to have a different line of dialogue, and you'll be like, why is that not working? It's because literally, like I said, the guides have it wrong. That information is not quite true in that particular line. You need to talk to him before you go into the sewers. That's Balfu at Shiraishi. Alright, so let's go ahead and set up for the Dragoon now. So for the Dragoon, you're going to first need to talk to the man searcher, and you're going to have to find a man named Humphrey. Alright, now that we are searching for Humphrey, we can find him at Parabellum. He's going to have a pretty small, not a really large story, but a pretty small storyline right there. Going into our next objective. Let's go hit to Alba real quick, and we're going to go to Parabellum. So we're going to have to find him through the man searcher first. That's going to be at Shiraishi. While you're there at Shiraishi, you can also pick up Balfu's comment. Now, I've heard too you can talk to Nate and Balfu at Parabellum, but if you do talk to Nate and Balfu at Parabellum, they still refer to the recent incident between Ulala and Balfu. So this man right here is going to be the one we want to talk to. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save my game. I already got the best dressed, so I can go ahead and save this here. This is going to be the first of, I'd say, or the second of the two weapon rumors that we're going to want to get here. So now we're at Parabellum. This is going to be for the man searcher. We're going to talk to this guy right here. We'll double talk to him just so we can get his name. His name's going to be Humphrey. And I might spell this wrong the first time here, because I believe it's spelled like this. Let me know in chat here if that looks right. It's just kind of funny how... It's just kind of funny because the majority of percentage characters have voice actors of Leon, Dio Brando, Kakashi, the PG somehow having a similar vibe, those characters. Yeah, I know, it's such a crazy lineup right there. They have such a wild mix-up. I was talking to one of my friends about the lineup here, and I'm like, it really is. It's like, you know, you got JoJo meets Naruto meets all this other crazy stuff here. Neon Evangelion, because Amanda Wynn Lee, who does Ulala, she was also, for Persona 5 fan, she plays Oya, the reporter. So, you know, and for Persona 4 fans, that's Yukiko Amagi's voice actress. So she did a lot of Persona work, but she also did a lot of, like, anime work, because I think she also did Heather Mason there, and she did one of my favorite NPCs in Devil Survivor Overclock. She was Miss Haruzawa, who was literally one of my favorite characters done in that game, and I save her every time I can play that game. I do her crest line. Okay, so we're gonna get Humphrey here, and that's going to be the first part of it. So we found him through the man searcher. Now we can go back to the man searcher. We have to do a little backtracking, go back, come back, and then we will have a rumor from the man himself here. So let's go ahead here. We're going to quickly run back here to Hirosaka. And a little bit of backtrack. But yeah, it's crazy. I say this all the time too. With the Fallout 1, because Fallout 1, the game back for PC, had such a stellar voice acting cast as well, with like Jim Cummings, Ron Perlman was in there. They had quite a few notable names. And I think just gaming was just such a smaller world back then. And a lot of these people just were in the industry together, and it's crazy that, you know, before they really got their starts in their kind of more known roles, you know, they would be found in some of these games voice acting together, you know. Atlus or Sega, Bandai Namco, Square Enix, just calling them up, or you know, any of the big anime studios. Capcom, Konami. And a little bit of a fun fact, Lala's voice actress, at least her English one, Amanda Wynn Lee, if anyone played Enchanted Arms, she was Karen's voice actress. And that game, funny enough, was FromSoft's one of their early RPG games, like an actual RPG, and that game has the Moonlight weapons. I will showcase that eventually here on the channel here, but first we are going to want to go back to Alba, and we're going to go to Parabellum. This is where we're going to be pretty much getting the rumor, and we'll go back and talk to this guy, get the rumor spread, and this is going to give us one of the strongest guns in the game, and this gun's going to be great for our boy Katsuyo, aka David Wittenberg, aka Kakashi. So shout out Mr. Wittenberg. I love it. Even Maya's voice actress, she's literally been everything. She's been everything what everybody grew up with. All right, here we see Lonnie Manila, in case anyone's wondering there. But anyways, this is where we're going to get our rumor for the Parabellum. And it's either going to give us a great weapon stashing gun or increased prices. So we want the great weapon stashing gun. So let's go ahead here, and we are going to go back to the agency, spread that rumor, or go back to the agency, save, then spread the rumor. And I want to be very particular about that save part before spreading the rumor, because again, this is going to be how you maximize the value out of your rumors. This is our rumor maxing right here. We're rumor maxing up here in Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, getting the best value out of these rumors. And don't just save it beforehand. That way, when you do spread them, you just save it and come back. No big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and save over this. As long as I don't go into the sewer yet, I will be good for the baseball rumor and the cynical people, or contact, the baseball contact of the cynical people contact between Nate and Balfu. We saved. Let's go ahead and spread this rumor now. I'll spread the other ones later. Here's going to be the one that we want right here. Parabellum hired a suspicious bounty hunter. Fingers crossed we get the best outcome and we get the Dragoon. If not, like I said, we'll just reload the save. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead here, run out, and head to Parabellum. And this is going to be how you get Dragoon, one of the best gun type weapons in this game. And I'm very specific on gun type because that's going to be good for Maya and Katsuya. But Maya's honestly best as a magic user in my opinion. So I would say use this for Katsuya for the time being. Okay, so here we go. Let's see the results of our random rumor. I'm going to talk to him. Oh, so we got the bad rumor. Too expensive in order to stay in business during reception. I had to raise my prices. That's going to be the bad rumor that you don't want. So at least you've seen both of the bad rumors. And now we can get to the good rumor. So like I said, just reload. Make sure you don't accidentally save over your save. That would be bad. You want to reload it. And now I'm back at the agency, and like I said, since I didn't save after I saved before, I can just re-roll the dice on the Parabellum rumor. We already know all this. So I'm just going to head back out. And this is exactly the process. Just rinse, wash, and repeat. And this is going to get you weapons and armor that will really help your playthrough, strengthen it, strengthen your characters, even probably stuff you'll be using into the late game. And here it is right here. We got the great rumor right here. I have begun stocking high-grade weapons. That is how you know you got the best outcome for this. I can go ahead and talk to him now, and he should have the Dragoon for me for about 150k. Alright, here we go. There are powerful guns all over the world, but those are all designed for use against man or beasts. That's where these differ. Oh shit. Guns made not for man or beast. What are we shooting here? Demons? These guns we keep here do not limit targets. And illogical design and destruction power makes them useful even against demons. Yep. So he's like, that's great, huh? You can even destroy demons. Well, if there were such things in this world as them. Alright, so let's go ahead here. This is where we're gonna go around here. This is where we're gonna get the Dragoon. 2200. I don't quite have that much, so we go ahead and get that much here. I had a couple of disguise goods I brought with me just to sweeten the deal here. I think that should be a good enough for old Barkeep. Alright, we're gonna get the same interaction here. Alright, let's go ahead and grab the Dragoon. And this right here, like I said, 2,200 for this gun. And then what we paid for the last one. Pretty steep price. I already have 300,000, over 300,000 yen on hand. So I paid that, and then I still had to sell some stuff. But now, I equipped my characters before going into the sewers with the best weapons, some of the best weapons and armor in the middle game, and even going to the mid-late game. And once we get to the late game, we'll be able to upgrade them to make them even stronger. So here's what I'll do, since Katsuya is my strength user. Look at the Dragoon right there. Look at the attack that it gives Katsu. That is at least a 67 in attack. Just right off the bat right there. We're going to go ahead and give that straight to him. Now the next one's going to be the best dresser. The best dresser, I feel, goes to Balfu because he is the best dresser. The great thing about the best dresser too is that it nullifies critical hits. So anybody who has it won't get critical hit, just like the mechanical hat. And that is going to be some of the best tips for getting the armor and the weapons, maximizing your return on these random rumors. We've obtained the best dresser. We got the Dragoon. Not only are these going to be very strong, we're also going to be able to use them even later towards the end game. So now I can go ahead and save on that. And that is going to be perfect. Because now I'm ready, just about ready, to go into the sewer. And hold on here. Let me talk about the sewer here. So, let's go ahead here. I'm going to show you a couple more points of interest just before I head off to the sewer. So, I showed you where Balfu is. And like I said, the guides on that one have a little bit of incorrect information on there. You want to talk to Balfu before going into the sewers there at Saraichi, not before going into Smile Ball. Now you can talk to Nate before going into Smile Ball, but Balfu has to be even earlier. Just like Flamenco de la Passion, easy to miss. Very, very easy to miss. Okay, so here is the next few areas of interest that I want to talk about. The next one is going to be at Narumi. And we were just at Narumi talking to the man who gives us the item breeder. That's going to be right here once again. They're going to talk about the Tsuchinoko. But if you go around to the back of the hotel here, you're going to have Ebony. Ebony is going to be where the rumor monger is for this ward. So, we can talk to the bartender. I'm just going to be real quick and rapidly press X, and that's going to actually get me to the wrong menu here. Let me actually go down here to talk and get the right menu. So this is going to be the Rumor Monger bartender. We can talk to this bartender, and they're going to give us a couple of good ones. Here's the first one. One's going to be the weapon customizations. Or not the customization, the weapons that Claire de Lune sells. Or, yeah, we can also get armor. So she tells us first about the weapons. We can get the armor. That's going to be from a different person, though. She's also going to tell us about the next good one, which is going to be probably the most important one, just for, like I said, upgrading and developing those best character weapons and upgrades. That's going to be this one right here, that Pataparacha. The designer there makes custom weapons and armor. That is going to be exact. I'm going to go there next now. Put that rumor in, and that'll be there next, because I got some mithril armor that I'll be putting on my party. And there's one more, then that's going to be about Salem over here, and he does maps. Salam is his name. He collects maps. I didn't do the first map of the laboratory. I said I wasn't going to do maps on my playthrough. But now I'm thinking, gosh, I might do maps. No promises, though. If it happens, it happens. Okay, that's going to be the first, the last of the rumor there. Let's go ahead and head out. So, whole lot of rumors right there. We got the Tsuchinoko one. We got that first of the Claire Lune one. That has a couple of variations of it. And then we got the one here for Pataparacha. That's going to be a good start here. Let's go ahead and grab just a few more rumors around. So, we're going to get one from Chunky here. Basically, go through the map. We're going to talk to all the rumor mongers. Here's Chunky. He's from Persona 1. Talking about, you know, how much of a connection there is between this game and a lot of the other games. I mean, this one, man, is just really central to the whole series and story-wise. Okay, so he doesn't have any information. I might have gotten that one from him earlier. But he's going to have one that talks about one of the giveaway magazines. I think Fantasy World, that they give away weapons. The next one's going to be here. Hirazaka Ward. Right back at Shiraishi, where we can talk to Rumor Monger Toku. See what they have. They do have a rumor. They have a rumor for us. Same probably one for Claire de Lune. But it's going to be that they sell mysterious armor, which is actually going to be the one that I pick here. Toku also has one more RNG rumor that's going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be that the Shiraishi ramen lady over here has realized her dream and made it come true. That's going to be the last RNG, not the last one, because we're going to have the Trish one as well, but that's going to be the last one that will pop in the world. Because we'll wait till Smile Ball for the Trish rumor. That's going to be one of the better times to use that one, since you actually back out. Alright. That right there is pretty much all the rumors that we will need and contacts before going into the sewers. That was a lot. That is, if that seemed like a lot, that is because it is a lot. You got a lot of stuff to do. Like I said, the rumor system in this game is just next level and plays into both so much in the narrative and gameplay. It's really important. That's why it's really important if you're rumor maxing, trying to get these best effects out of the rumors, especially the RNG rumors in this game. Always save beforehand. And always make sure, you know, try to get these good effects right here, because these are going to help your playthrough. It's going to help you get past that hard boss that you're having a problem with. It's going to help you get past those hard enemies that you're trying to grind on the floors of the dungeon. It's going to make you time go by faster, because you're going to have the power and your equipment to deal with these demon threats. With that being said, let's go ahead here onto the next portion of this stream here. We're gonna do the last couple of these rumors. I'm gonna quickly show you the baseball. Oh gosh, I might if we can on this stream, try to show you the baseball contact. Okay, so we got this. Oh no, I don't have enough money. No, so I had all these grand plans to spread all these rumors, especially this one right here, and I have seemingly ran out of funds. So we are going to have to dip into the piggy bank here. AKA, I gotta go grab some do-re-mi real quick. Do-re-mi is going to be over here at Mu Continent, which will also be opening up here. We'll be getting to that a little later, so stay tuned for that one. We'll have Gigamacho, and we'll have Mu Continent Casino, so those will be actually really fun. Alright, so right over here, let's grab a couple of disguise goods. By a few, I just mean like this many or so. Alright, so the reason I got these disguise goods right here, because they're going to sell for a lot of yen, and I'll be able to not only get the rumors here, but I'll also be able to get my other ones together there. Alright, so just gonna go over here to the store here and sell my disguise goods. Like I said, they sell pretty good price here, 5,000. That should give me enough to do what I need to do here. And now that you've seen the random rumors and these good effects, like I said, these will help your combat so much better. These are going to help you manage off a lot better. The last part of that is the fusion. Knowing to keep fusing your personas. This game revolves around constantly, like a lot of the other games, summoning new personas, stronger ones, especially ones that increase your stats, which you should be aiming for. Alright, so now we can head back to Alba. Back to the Kuzuno Detective Agency. And I'm going to show you this last... I'm not going to spread the last rumor, RNG rumor, but this one right here, I will talk about it quickly because I won't do it on this stream at least. This one will either make her write her memo or her memoir which is completely fabricated. I mean, she has some pretty crazy stories when you read it. But not to say she is actually based on a real character, but her memoirs in game that she writes are completely like what crazy batshit stories that don't even add up. So I count those as the unwanted rumor. But the wanted rumor is that she expands her inventory and she gives you I believe it's a meal that does like plus 15 strength. So that's going to be the one that you want. Alright. The one I want here, though, is going to be the map collecting billionaire. That's going to put Salam into the game, and he's now going to give us a map. We'll want to get the Tsuchinoko sighted, because again, that's going to give you an item reader, and that's going to be one of the strongest and rarest items, especially for duplicating any item in your inventory. And then Padarapata's Secret Services. And these other ones right here, Sumeru Genie, I want to save a little money on. Raishi, save the money on that. Clear to Loons, weapons, and armor. I honestly don't need the weapons right now because I have enough mithril silver to make all mithril armor for my team, which is going to be right there in Padarapata. So having that rumor itself already saves me from the need of armor. Last rumor I'm going to need to get is from the Nikomata here in the back. And if you haven't done so yet, I have a video on my channel there, Jigoku Gaming, on YouTube, that outlines how to unlock the rumor monger Nikomata. She looks a lot different from what she looks like now, but yeah, you take a look at one of OG's Nikomata's here. Alright, so she's gonna have a rumor for us about Trish. This is gonna be the Trish rumor that we get. I just had this one on my stream before, talking about her Bundy grubbing ways being reformed, and she's either going to get a item that is either going to charge you more for her inventory or less, and you want the one that definitely is less. She has some good stuff for going into boss battles and stuff, agility and all types of boost you'll likes. Like I said, I'm going to save on those rumors right now. I'm not going to rush in and try to spread those rumors, especially the Trish one. That one's best saved for Smile Mall. Reason being because you can literally leave, you can't leave the sewer dungeon in the laboratory, and that's where you're going to want to do that to make sure so you can't even check if you got like the good effect. So the best way to check if you got the good effect is going to be a Smile Mall, because you can pick out those dungeons and you can just reload if you don't get the effect that you want. Alright, last but not least, go ahead here and head to Narumi. That is pretty much all of the rumors for this section of the game. Like I said, just got through to about the middle of the game, I'd say. Went through Aoba Park, and now that we Master Ulala, after going through the Club Zodiac, now that Master Ulala has came up with our plan to summon the Persona 1 character. We got them. Now we've unlocked all this other great stuff right here. Once you got the new room reward, there is so much you can miss, and so much that can enhance your playthrough, that can take your playthrough from, like I said, good or bad to great. And with that being said, one more thing I want to talk about is mithril armor. You can get this, you can get mithril silver from the continent. Just playing the casino, spread the rumor there for the slot machines. The mithril armor is probably one of the better mid to mid-late armors, especially because it's gonna give its real value. I think is that special defense is going to be a whopping 40 on your character. So I buy as many of these right now as you possibly can. I was fortunate enough to have enough really big casino wins that I have my 3 now. I have Balfu with best dress, so wait, who has best dress? Ulala has best dress, so she doesn't even need one. So that means I can equip one on Katsu. I can equip one on Balfu. And then I'll equip one on Maya. And did you see those values skyrocket? Look at those. Defense and special defense absolutely skyrocket. Now, when it comes to the mithril armor and the best dress, just so you can kind of see a comparison, the best dress has the better defense. And you're only missing out on the special defense, so it's very comparable. So what I usually will do is just have someone with that mithril armor, have someone with the best dress, and then put the rest of them in mithril. When it comes to him over here, he already has some decent armor. I think it's 24. This one's a 27. So you're really only missing out again on that special defense. Best dresser has a 55 and nullifies the criticals. So I feel like it's all pretty comparable right here. Now, if I really felt the need to, I just picked up Nate at my party, and he actually comes out of the box with some pretty up-to-date stuff. Pretty much top of the line for what you can get in the stores. This right here is a kind of special gear from the casino. So the casino gear tends to be better, in my opinion and experience, than the store-bought gear here. And you can see the difference just in the mithril armor itself. So right here, if I'm going into the sewers, I'm gonna feel pretty stacked, right? I got some great armor. I got a lot of nullified critical hits. I got a lot of strong weapons that have great effects as well. Look at that. 110 attack. And not only that, it has the mute effect at a really good rate, which is probably going to put it about over 50%. That could be like a 52 to 60% right there. With that being said, that's going to basically do it for this stream. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure here. We will be back at it next time with more Persona 2, but that's going to be enough for today. We've been really maximizing the values out of rumors, upgrading the playthrough experience, getting strong weapons, getting strong armor. That way, whatever comes our way in the dungeons ahead, we can easily handle it. Having a good level, having good personas, keeping the fuse, and having good equipment. Can't wait to see where the story is going to take us next time. Again, we're going to have Giga Macho coming up on there. We're going to have Alba Park second visit, as well as the infamous Mu Continent. So, if you love deep RPGs with strong stories, tactical combat, this one is truly a gem. If you're still here with us, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that follow button. It helps subscribe more content to you that just like this. Hit that if you are subscriber notification bell. Make sure you are always staying up to date with the latest videos. If you want to see more Persona 2 in action, and let's see what kind of crazy rumors we can make true next time. Thanks, and have a great day, everyone. Great Memorial Day.